Well, guys, look what we got. As you all may know now, it looks like one of the developers released a statement on the latest DLC here. And there's a lot to unpackage here. Now, I just want to say, first of all, I am glad that they did address some of the problems here and kind of just going and giving us an apology. And surprise, surprise, it was deadlines and a lack of testing if there was any to begin with. Now, I'm not going to dig into every single thing that's been said. And as you can tell by all the videos popping up on YouTube, there's a lot of feedback, to say the least. And even the dev goes here to say this is now the second release of a country pack which has performed worse than expected. And before digging in, I have to say I'm not entirely surprised. Like, I am surprised with how many bugs there were, but knowing it was a country pack, there wasn't going to be really any big changes, and honestly, that's what HOI4 really needs. Not just new focus trees, but genuine fixes. So right off the bat, the country pack was only going to probably be neutral at best. But I do like how the dev does acknowledge that they need to offer more. More with the focus trees, mechanics, 3D models, the whole package. It's not just the bugs, in my opinion. And as you all may know, I did just release a recent video on why Kaiserreich is better than HOI4, in which I state a lot of different reasons. And I'm not going to re-go through all of that, but I think one of the big problems with HOI4 is just how messy it is. The piece deals is like one of the biggest mechanics in this game. This is the end-all deal here. And as you all may know, the piece system is just awful. But trying not to divulge too much into that topic, they did talk about short-term goals here. A lot of these just looking like they're going to be patches coming up here. We got Operation Head and Knee and Shoulder. I don't know why they're named this way. I don't think it says anywhere here why they're named this way. But yeah, for at least the first 3 updates they're going to bring, it looks like they're all going to be like patches. This one doesn't exclusively say patch. It says war effort. So I'm assuming they're going to try to tackle some of the war mechanic issues with the game. And once again, I'm not going to go too much into detail here over the latest DLC. There's plenty of other YouTube videos out there that have already said pretty much everything that needs to be said. But I'm just going to say here quickly that there's 2 big problems here: bugs and mechanics. Luckily, it does seem that they did touch a little bit on both of these, with the short-term goals being the bug fixes and the more long-term goals being like the scoping. Like mentioned earlier, it's all about the focus trees, mechanics, and 3D models, blah, blah, blah. But I do find this interesting down here. It says in April, we're going to get updates and changes to the Graveyard of Empires content. How big of changes? I don't know. I'm going to be honest, I didn't play enough to know the intricacies of each little nation. But only playing 2 hours into Iran, I declared war on Iraq, which then turned fascist and then joined the Axis. So then I was at war with the entire Axis and had a joint invasion with the Allies into Iraq, just for Iraq to have a separate peace deal with the Allies and become a British puppet again. Therefore, I don't get anything, and I'm still at war with the Axis. Now, I don't think they're going to fix really any of those issues, sadly. I'm not going to expect too much out of this, because at the end of the day, they can fix all the bugs and just any railroading in the focus tree, but it's not going to be enough. I've always said this, but you can give any nation a 10 out of 10 focus tree, just the best focus tree you have ever seen, but the playthrough of it is only going to be a 5 out of 10 overall, because the focus tree can't just be the only thing that makes this nation special. There needs to be mechanics with decisions, AI interaction, essentially all the stuff I mentioned in my previous video on why Kaiserreich is better than HOI4. But I know what I'm asking here is a lot. At this point, it might take until Hearts of Iron 5, whenever that does come, if ever, because I just think HOI4 has become too messy of a game. It's always been a messy game, but with the recent DLCs and all these new mechanics, I think it's just getting way too buggy. I would like to see them address these issues in Hearts of Iron 4, but I don't want to get my anticipations too high. Once again, I will say thank you, developers, for releasing this statement here. But if anyone from Paradox or just any dev in general is watching this, please fix the short-term goals first. Just get the bugs out of the way. And then I'd say definitely start going into the long-term goals. Because right now, modders are running circles around Paradox. And if I'm not mistaken, the devs that made Graveyard of Empires are also TNO devs. I don't know how true that is. I just saw someone saying that. I wasn't able to find anything online on who exactly created this. But apparently these are the same guys that also released the South American DLC and also Battle for Bosporus. Once again, don't take my words for it. I just heard this from random online sources. But whoever it is, at this point, we just need to take serious consideration into this game. Hearts of Iron 4 is a pretty big game. It's one of Paradox's best-selling games ever, and it has just grown massively over the years since 2016, especially 2020 and up. I feel like after No Step Back, Hearts of Iron 4 took a serious step in a different direction, and I really don't want to see that direction fall out. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. I just saw this and I thought I'd create a little video about it, going over it. But yeah, no, that's pretty much about it. See you guys.